This is the story of 4 friends, and a little one, who set off on an adventure in Spain. 4 cities in 10 days. Let the adventure begin. We arrived at Madrid Barajas Airport early in the morning after a night of no sleep. From there, we had to get to Atocha, the train station, and then catch the train to Granada. Needless to say, we were exhausted. However, finding some amazing sandwiches with jamón ibérico did cheer us up quite a bit. We got to our Airbnb in Granada late that night. Hugo and Amadeo were already there waiting for us. The next day, we had to be up bright and early to go to Alhambra Palace. The Alhambra Palace dates from the 13th century and it's considered the best example of Islamic architecture from the Muslim rule of Andalusia, which was then called Al-Andalus. Alhambra is a very popular attraction and they are very strict about ticket times. We had hired a tour guide to take us through, but it seemed that he was running late, making some of us a bit nervous. But our guide arrived soon after and we spent the next 3 hours exploring the beauty of Alhambra Palace. We took millions of photos, so much so that our guide said,
Ustedes toman más fotos que los turistas japoneses.
By the time we finished exploring Alhambra, we were starving. And so we headed over to a recommended tapas place, Torquato. Torquato is located in the neighborhood of Albaicin, which is very close to Alhambra. It's a medieval neighborhood that has still maintained quite a lot of its character from the Nasrid dynasty, which was the last Moorish dynasty before the Reconquista in 1492. The Albaicin was both a Jewish and a Muslim neighborhood. Once upon a time, Spain, and particularly Andalusia, had a huge Jewish population. History tells us that during the Moorish rule, Muslims, Jews, and Christians all live together peacefully. Both the Alhambra and the Albaicin neighborhood have been named UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and for good reason. It's a truly charming neighborhood, full of cobblestone streets, beautiful courtyards, and my favorite, painted tiles absolutely everywhere. Once we got to Torquato, we were more than ready to feast on tapas. So in Spain, there's an amazing concept of tapas. So you order a drink and they bring you an appetizer and it's kind of a surprise. You don't know what they're going to bring you, but honestly, super cool. I don't know why we don't have this in the US.
A ver, gazpacho.
¿Qué tiene?
A ver, bueno, tomate. La base es tomate, le lleva pepino, pimiento verde, pimiento rojo, cebolla, ajo, vinagre de jerez, sal, pimienta y aceite de oliva.
Actually, I really like this. I'm not an expert, but I like this.
And I actually like this.
The next morning, we went to breakfast at Papas Elvira, a local cafe that would become our favorite spot in Granada, but more on that later. Today was my birthday, and we had a reservation that evening for a dinner and flamenco show, so we decided to spend the day exploring the caves of Sacromonte. Not realizing the amount of climbing, however, nor the cobblestone, nor the heat, I made the unfortunate choice to wear jeans and boots with heels. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, this hike is no joke. Super beautiful, super hot. Hike is no joke, especially in heels.
How much longer?
I don't know, it's kind of endless. When we finally reached the entrance, we celebrated in a nearby cafe with a well-earned cold drink. The district of Sacromonte in Granada is the historic home of the Roma, otherwise known as the Gypsy, community in Granada. Having likely arrived around the 15th century, Granada is known for having the largest community of Roma in Spain. However, similar to the Jewish community, the Roma people were historically marginalized and segregated from the rest of society. They ended up settling in Sacromonte, and there it is said that the beautiful dance tradition of flamenco was first created. The origin of these incredible cave houses is not entirely known. However, it is assumed that when Muslim and Jewish communities were forced from their homes during the Reconquista, they intermixed with the also marginalized Roma, or Gypsy population, and they created their own community of cave dwellers, just outside the main city walls of Granada. However, these cave homes have survived for hundreds of years, with families still living in them up until the 1950s. I don't think you have a career as a flamenco singer. After the museum, we had to rush home to change for the dinner and flamenco show. And then we had to climb another hill to get to the restaurant. It's better than any Stairmaster. Just come to Granada, you got your workout done, just walking. At the restaurant, there was a little mix-up over the timing of our reservation. Go ahead. But luckily, we were soon seated and ready to enjoy a great meal.
Be positive, just block yourself for us to be positive.
So this is garnacha rosé, which is actually not very common to have a garnacha made rosé because it's already a light-bodied red wine. But also this is a garnacha from Malaga, which
From Sierras de Málaga.
from the countryside, from the mountains of Malaga, which is not very usual to get in the US. Usually the garnacha that I found in the US are garnacha from Avila, from outside of Madrid, or somewhere near Madrid in the countryside. But Malaga garnacha, I guess, is gonna have a extra minerality because of the coast of Malaga, because we're close to the ocean. You see.
This is fucking great. I like this one a lot.
Nothing to light the
Gracias.
candle. I'll just have to make a wish somehow.
They don't know fire in Spain.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Emma. Happy
After dinner, we walked to the theater inside the restaurant to enjoy the flamenco show. What I loved about this show was the purity of the performance. It wasn't a touristy, overproduced type of show, just heartfelt dancing and music in an intimate setting. Our last morning in Granada, we went as usual to our favorite spot for breakfast, Papas Elvira. We sat down and ordered, and I got my favorite dish.
And they have a dish here that I love that is really, really hard to find. So you can find it in Morocco and Algeria, maybe other places, but generally in that area. In Morocco, it's called pastilla, and that's how I knew it. But here it's called pastela. And so my favorite one is this one with the chicken. It's delicious. It's like savory and sweet at the same time with cinnamon. It's really, really good. But she has tons of other things here. She has fresh juices, amazing coffee, amazing desserts. She even has vegan desserts here. even vegan, gluten-free desserts. So highly recommend this place if you come to Granada.
We were enjoying our food and waiting for our second round of coffees to arrive.
So this waiter comes at the bar and tells me that there is a lady in her table that wants a virgin cocktail or a mocktail, like lately they've been calling it. But she wants a virgin cocktail without juices or without soda, seltzers.
We started noticing a frantic energy in the usually calm restaurant. It seemed that one of Elvira's waitstaff was out sick that day, leaving her to both cook and help manage the restaurant with just one other employee.
So I just look at her and I said, so is ice water okay? And she looks at me all confused, like, so yeah, I mean, you just told me you don't want any juice, you don't want any seltzers, so exactly what am I supposed to give you? Water and ice, right?
That was when Amadeo decided to step in. While he was pursuing his master's degree, Amadeo had worked as both a waiter and a barista. He got behind the counter and started making cappuccinos and lattes on the spot. Elvira's is a very popular place in the area, and the line started to build up more and more as people who work in the area arrived to pick up their coffee and breakfast to go. After the breakfast rush, things calmed down and we were able to sit down with Doña Elvira to learn about her history and how she started the restaurant.
Bueno, hoy estamos aquí entonces visitando un lugar hermosísimo que se
Muchísimas
llama
gracias.
Papas Elvira. Tu
Muchas-
nombre es Elvira entonces.
A mí me llaman Elvira, pero yo me llamo Wasila.
¿Basila?
Sí, con
Oh,
W.
oh,
Sí,
mira.
sí, pero todo el mundo me dice Mama Elvira.
Oh,
Porque yo llevo más de 15 años, que esta es nuestra segunda tienda.
Sí.
Y de hace años vienen muchos estudiantes, sobre todo en la primera tienda, que yo soy la primera en Elvira, por ejemplo, con platos de veganos, vegetarianos, ¿vale? En Elvira, ¿no?
Sí.
Y luego, pues de plato de cuchara, que ahora hay más, pero al principio, para tomar un plato de cuchara, había que ir coger un menú. Yo tenía plato de cuchara. Y entonces, el principal y lo primero que he tenido yo han sido estudiantes.
Oh, mira.
Y entonces me llaman todos Mama Elvira.
Ah, por
Y
eso el
soy,
nombre.
sí, entonces todo el mundo dice Mama Elvira, soy como una mamá, porque la mayoría es muy bonito, porque la mayoría son gente que viene a estudiar, tienen los papás fuera y pasa eso, ¿no? Y aparte que tengo muchas recetas porque me la han pedido los estudiantes. Claro, porque me dice, a mí me gusta la espinaca, a mí me gusta eso en vegano. Cambié muchos para ellos.
Sí. Y sabes que nosotros notamos mucho de que sí, es como una madre, porque cuando apenas llegamos te sentaste donde estábamos nosotros y nos empezaste a ofrecer directamente como si fuera en una
Claro,
casa.
porque soy mamá y tengo mis hijos fuera.
Y cómo se dice, ¿y cómo es que nació tu pasión por la comida y por la cocina?
Pues, a ver, a mí soy una persona que todo lo que hago me gusta hacerlo con pasión, pero también te ayuda muchísimo cuando eres una madre y cuando tienes tus hijos fuera. Yo en verdad todos estos alumnos, estos estudiantes los veía como mis hijos y ellos notaron este cariño.
El lugar se llama
Papas Elvira.
¿Y
Sí.
qué es lo que entonces la gente espera cuando llega acá? ¿Con qué se va a encontrar?
Pues comida de todo, comida de todo. Lo mismo encuentran comida andaluza, comida árabe, comida de todo muy rica.
Y sobre todo mucho sabor y
Sí.
amabilidad.
Muchas gracias, muchísimas gracias.
Granada was such a beautiful city and an incredible adventure. We totally fell in love with this place. And now, it was time to leave Granada and move on to our next stop, Malaga.